Hitting $1 million a month is not about doing more work. There are only 24 hours in a day, and if you are anything like I was, you are working from the moment you wake up until the moment you close your eyes. However, most entrepreneurs do not spend this time efficiently. People like Jeff Bezos have the exact same amount of time, however, they create enormous amounts of leverage. There are three typical ways to create leverage: hiring a team, capital, coding, software, and content. However, there's a fourth hidden one. This fourth hidden one has been the secret weapon for our clients like Nathan Nazareth, Louis Garros, Spencer Polil, and other multi-7 plus all the way up to 9-figure entrepreneurs. It's health. More specifically, creating leverage by removing all the time wasters from your life like cooking, shopping, cleaning, etc., as this visual portrays. If you can do this, you'll get the absolute most out of your focus while also adding back around 15 extra hours per week, guaranteed. And this is because you're not doing medial tasks that you can pay somebody around $7 to $10 to do. In general, cleaning a carpet, that's not a $2,500 a month task. It's a simple task that somebody else should be doing. Before I had this system in my life, I had to constantly go and shop. I had to make meal plans. I had to organize how many ingredients I'm going to buy. And I thought that was quality time between me and my girlfriend, when in reality, that was a complete waste of time. Quality time and having me and my girlfriend cook together is great once a week. But to do that every single time that we need to eat food or to orchestrate anything is a complete burden on my plate when I was scaling my business. I was spending around 15 to 20 hours cooking, cleaning, doing the laundry, and doing everything around the home. As I thought that was okay, I worked from home. But in reality, I was just making up excuses so that I would enforce and outsource all the things I shouldn't be doing. And some days I wouldn't have time to do this. I was skipping workouts. I was ordering Uber Eats, eating like crap, simply because I had to put more time in the business than I had available to put into myself. And it sucked falling off track with my training, the way I felt, the way I looked, my skin, simply because I didn't have the time to cook a beautiful meal from scratch. And all these little leaks, all these little time wasters added up immensely to the point where I kept burning out, and I had it at that point. Now, if I had my energy back when I was experiencing all this, I would have had an extra work week every single month to put into whatever time focus I wanted to. I would no longer be getting in arguments with my mom or my sister or my girlfriend about why I'm so busy with work. When in reality, I was trying to be so busy in work without being smart about it. I didn't use any of my available leverage. And the early stages of running my business, I was so overwhelmed. I had to do marketing, I had to figure out operations, systems, and all these things. And all of 2023, that whole year was my least athletic year ever. I lost around 5 pounds. I was super neglectful of my health because I was trying to focus on scaling up my business. The kitchen was always a mess. I was always snapping at people. I didn't feel good. I had mass indigestion. I had big gut problems, which I actually fixed recently, thankfully, based on all the things that we're talking about today. I finally got back down to around a 46 resting heart rate. That's the first time in 3 years where I've gotten down that low. Because I just wasn't at that high level of performance. I realized that I needed to make a monetary change and I had to focus on business, but at the same time, I knew that there was a smarter way where I didn't have to sacrifice my health. And the Optimability system was developed initially as a personal training platform where we would outsource things like data testing and have all of the schematics for orchestrating custom plans and blood work and all of these things around high performing net worth clients like Nathan Nazareth that we talked about. We talked about Alex Zastry, William Phillips, I mentioned a couple times. And all these people, they benefited from this initial portion of the specialist consultation, of the blood work and the personalization piece. But in reality, it didn't really help them get their health back on track without their necessarily direct input. So it demanded input on their part to get healthier. And that was the biggest bottleneck. We realized that no matter how much time, and you probably noticed this too, no matter how many coaches you listen to or how many health gurus or all these guys, they're trying to sell you on information. They're not selling you an easier modality to achieve wealth. And you can do that with your health, which is what I'm showing you today. And that modality is hiring and training up a chef in the aspect of being able to Find somebody that comes in your home that handles all of these things for you, while Optimability, our team, handles all of these things on the back end: shopping lists, recipes, curation, helping you with your health in terms of making sure you're eating the right food, etc., so that the chef can come in and do the laundry and the cleaning and all those little tidbitty things that accumulate to 40 to 60 hours per month that you buy back for yourself. And that's what these guys all care about. All of them through time over the past, it's our fiscal year 3 currently. We're about the halfway point of the year. And I've been doing this for, I'd say, 5 years now. Every single time I've talked to a high figure founder, the piece that they care about the most is the time saving component. That is by far the biggest lever for your health, because you're going to have to eat regardless. And there are a lot of aspects in food, for example, that really pertain to how well you're optimizing yourself. And a lot of people get it wrong. And a lot of coaches say you need to optimize your meals for peak performance. You need to do all these big word lingo things that they can't really dissect well. Whereas it's a clearly evident, proven fact that if you are not the one shopping, cooking, cleaning, and doing all the little tidbitty things around the home, you will have a substantial and much larger amount of time back in your pocket to invest back in your business alongside with the rest of the household. You know, we have clients all over the US and Canada. We have families, we have multifamily homes, etc., homes with 10 people. And the biggest thing that these people want to do is to prioritize themselves more. The mom and the dad, they're going to always be busy. In a lot of cases, we have the father figure working, taking care of the rest of the family, whereas the mom, in a traditional sense, would cook and clean and do all that. Now, that's great, and it works for the beginning. But honestly, there's a lot of problems that we've seen arise when relationships are on a unequal equilibrium. And usually when we install a housekeeper, chef, or a culinary artist in the home, that balances out. And then you and your partner are now living at the same level of luxury. So there's a lot less bickering, there's a lot less fighting, it's a lot more coordination, as ultimately your worth is tied into the actions that you do on a daily basis. And if you're not at that high standard, if you're not driving the nicest car that you can afford at the time, or going to the nicest gym, or treating yourself at the highest quality standard, you fall back. And when you fall back, that's really where you get out of flow and you start disrupting, and you start building up the wrong habits and you burn out, etc. So let us handle it all for you. If you are a 7+ figure founder, we do this all over the US and Canada. We've done it multiple times. We do it on a daily basis. Literally all I do, I hire and train these people on the systems that I'm showing you today. And I'm just sharing with you what I've learned. I've worked with a lot of high net worth people, probably one of the most expensive health coaches out there. And that's simply because of the fact that I came from such problems when I was younger, and I'm still able to compete at a very, very high level as per these tasks. So book in a call down below. We'll chat and I'll explain the whole process to you.